So I just got a package in the mail. I haven't gone to get it yet, and I'm gonna take you with me. It's gonna be a pretty sweet package, and I'm gonna make a video on it. So I would keep watching and stay tuned for what's in store. Woo-wee, you know what that means. New discs. So we've arrived at the course. We are here at Baker Park today, and I'm gonna test these beauties out. I know what they are, but I'm here to unbox them for you. So let's just open them up. And ta-da, look at that. We have the first ever battle pack from Discraft. You might know this by now, but I love the Zone. The Discraft Zone is probably my go-to putter approach disc. And oh my gosh, these look amazing. There's the Zone GT Battle Pack instructions right here. Has everything you need to know. There's a QR code so that you can tell Discraft which zone performed the best for you. There's voting that you can actually vote on which mold Discraft would release. This is so exciting, and I can't wait to participate in this. So both of the molds are a Zone, but they just have a different flight plate on the top. This one is the Banger, and then we have a Ringer as well. So I can already kind of speculate just based on feel which one I like more. So I'm gonna do a little comparison. I'm gonna see which ones I like the most, and you can help me figure out which zone flies the best. Okay, so the Banger rim, you can tell there's a little bit of a groove where your thumb should go. I'm not positive if I'm in love with that feeling because my hands are small. I tend to hold the disc where my thumb isn't so outstretched wide, but yeah, it definitely has an interesting feel. I think I prefer it more backhand than I do forehand. Forehand, I find my fingers tend to separate, and I love a stacked grip like that. And it feels just really large in the hand. I don't know why, but the backhand does feel better. And yeah, there's you can see the indentation here. There's, yeah, just a nice little groove there. Not sure how I feel about it. Maybe it'll feel better during the throw. And then we have the Ringer. The Ringer just has that thicker flight plate just on the edge, the very outer rim. And that one feels incredible in the hand. Backhand, I think I would still prefer a regular Zone to it, but it definitely feels a little bit better backhand and forehand. There's a little divot here you can feel, but I find that it doesn't really come into contact with my fingers when I'm gripping it for backhand or forehand. So yeah, we'll have to see which one we like the best. But both of them are going to be stable because they are in the Z plastic, and my Zones are ESP, so that's what I'm used to throwing, so let's check it out. Okay, so we've made it here to hole 4 at Baker Park. It's 210 feet, par 3. And I'm gonna throw both of these test flight zones the exact same way, and then see which one is, I don't know, which one feels better. I'm gonna give you my honest review and thoughts, but I'm just gonna give it some power. I know it's gonna stable up, so I'm just gonna throw it flat, and that's the goal. Wow. Wow. That was surprisingly straight, actually, for what I thought. Had a good, decent, stable finish, just like a Zone should. It feels definitely heavier in the hand for me. I don't know why, but it felt like more effort to give it a pull. But here's the Ringer, and we're gonna try that one out. Okay. So both of the zones, the test flight zones, actually are in birdie range, tap-in range, I would say. They both felt really nice. I think the thing that's hard for me to get around, my mind around, is the groove in the Banger. But honestly, the more I hold it, the more I'm maybe I wouldn't mind it so much, but yeah, it just doesn't feel like a Zone to me. The Ringer definitely has a little bit more of that Zone feel where it's kind of nice and flat. We're gonna keep throwing them. Let's keep checking it out. This review is not over yet, so keep watching. Okay, we're here at hole 5, 176 feet. I'm just hoping to do a really high hyzer, like a spike hyzer, and the wind is a little bit left to right. So we're gonna see how these compare in the wind. So let's give it a little shot. I'll start with the Banger again. Okay, get down. Wow, that actually had a decent amount of glide. Let's try the ringer. I do like the feel of this one in the hand a little more, I have to say. Oh, that's a little higher, for sure. Okay, I would say they're in like a very similar range. I kind of kept it pretty safe. I wanted to give it a little more than I generally do with these zones, just to see how stable it would actually come down. Okay, we're at hole 7 here. We're gonna test these out on a forehand line. So I'm gonna go around the tree on this side, and then we're gonna see how they compare on a forehand. I can already tell, again, I like the feeling of the ringer a little more. I find, like I said before, when I'm throwing the banger on a forehand, I feel there's like a separation almost, like because of the groove, my finger tends to want to slide over and separate on this side here. And like, I don't get as much pop on my forehand, but we're gonna check it out and see. It is only 179 feet, so it's very doable with the forehand, and let's see how close they get. Okay, felt better in the throw by far than it did through the grip of just holding it, but flew really nice. I just think it's one of those things you'd have to get used to. Okay, next up we have the ringer. Already this one feels much, much nicer and much more comfortable, and it just feels like more of a typical zone, I think, to me. Okay, I think that one actually might have pushed a little farther and a little deeper of the pin. Still felt really good. Felt like a normal zone to me. I'm gonna go check them out and then get back to you. All right, you can see them both behind me. The distance and like the flight was very comparable to one another. I would say the only thing that is different is the feel of the disc. And so far, I'm liking the ringer a little more just for the way that the grooves are and how my fingers don't separate like I was talking about. So let's move on to another forehand hole just to get the full test and the full effects of this experiment. We are at hole 13. It's 204 feet to the pin, and I'm gonna throw both of these again on a little bit of a flex forehand and see how they fare. I was also just noticing that the flight plate compared to a typical zone actually seems a little bit thicker in diameter, or just like in circumference, I guess. But the flight plate definitely does seem a little bigger. So I don't know if that's also something to think about if you're wanting to purchase these, or depending on which one you're going with in your bag. But for me, I have small hands, so the ESP zone makes the most sense. But yeah, that's just something that I noticed. I'm gonna be going with the banger first, and I'm gonna be throwing it on a slight flex and just seeing how it comes out of it, how stable it is. Okay, that's pretty stable. And I threw it pretty soft. Next up, the ringer. Oh my gosh. Wow. Super stable, but enough of a push forward that it came out of it at the very end. Felt like the ringer, it was like stable from the get-go, and it kind of just went right away. I have to give it to the ringer. It felt immensely better forehand and backhand in the hand. I'd love to know if you found that similarly, and now I have to go vote. So each of these have a QR code, and I'm gonna head back home and vote my favorite. I think this is a really cool opportunity for fans to kind of choose which flight they like the most, and you get to kind of be a part of the creation of the disc. So these are just the test flights, so you have to vote on which one is your favorite, and hopefully that one wins, and then Discraft will put that into production. So let's go check it out.